I live in Sour Lake, and I am a retired library director of 13 years. I started the Sour Lake Chamber of Commerce, and I served as its executive director for 10 years. I presently serve on the Sour Lake Economic Development Corporation as the secretary treasurer, and I serve on planning and zoning. I decided to run actually a few years ago. I've kind of been watching it. I became, I guess you could say, friends with James White through the chamber, because he always comes to our town, and like everybody else, he rides in your parades, he eats some barbecues, you know, he makes himself seen. But I realized when I started watching his record that he actually does nothing to help the constituents. He sponsored and voted for the Blue Tarp program. And if you don't know what that is, the Blue Tarp program gives insurance companies permission to pay pennies on the dollar of your disaster claim. Now, most of the people up here probably didn't get affected by Hurricane Harvey, but a lot of people in my district did, like in Newton County, and I did. I'm a victim of it. I'm a victim of the Blue Tarp. I'm living in a half-finished house, and my insurance company will not pay the full amount to repair that I needed to repair my house. So I'm stuck until I come up with the money. So I know that. He also voted to take $200 million away from the public education fund and give it to the private schools and charter schools. So he goes back and votes to give an unfunded mandate of $12 million back to the teachers. The teachers, I mean, we know that if it's unfunded and we know that they haven't planned for it, what do you think he's going to do? Where do you think that the money's going to come from? They're going to start yelling, which they already are. We got to raise the property taxes to pay for it. Well, because I am from Sour Lake, and I know this firsthand, and it's not just a rumor thing going around, we need to close the loopholes on the oil and gas and the huge corporations and make them pay their fair share. We're not asking them to pay more. We're just asking them to pay their fair share of the property taxes, because Sour Lake is full of oil and gas, and none of them pay the city of Sour Lake any tax money whatsoever, any property tax at all, because they'd been granted years ago that privilege of not paying it. Why should people that work, the everyday working man, have to pay more than their fair share to fund the schools when they're up there in Austin voting to take it away? So I'm very much against property taxes. I very much want to close the loopholes. I'm for Medicare for all, or at least a health care for all. I'm for not touching Medicaid and Medicare, and I'm definitely for veterans. I believe that if you served your country, whether you were drafted or you were enlisted, it does not matter. I believe that if you went and you served, that when you come home, you are entitled to every single right and benefit that this country has to offer you for the rest of your life.